but they don't want to listen to my music.
Oh, yeah. No one wants to. Sorry, that was mean. I'm not really sorry.
Place it there. Oh, God. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 7th attempt at the second episode of Talking Till We're Dead. The show where we've just been dying to talk to you. I'm Jonah, and Annie doesn't want to say her name. And we are here to talk until we die, or until Annie has to go, because we both have prior investments. Annie, I'm going to start off the conversation today.
Okay.
What's your experience using technology? Like,
God.
no, that's a bad start. But listen, like in general, do you feel like when you are using your phone, your computer, I don't know, your Zune, your like
Zune?
your Ouya, you're using the, you are having a good user experience. Like, out of a percentage of the time, how much do you think
I don't know. It's like everything's fine.
You have no issues with it? You don't often find you have issues with it?
No.
Because I would say that with the dawn of modern technology, I have had
It's like a thesis statement.
Yeah. I have had a total of 10% good user experience.
Okay.
10% of the time, I'm like, this is working as it's supposed to work. You're telling me that when you use your Windows computer, you have a Windows 10.
I don't know. Yeah?
You have a laptop that runs Windows 10.
Yeah.
You have never run into any issues.
No.
Okay, you haven't had to... Okay. That's actually baffling to me. You use Photoshop, right? Or you used to before the incident. But... So you've never had a moment where you're like, I hate this software, I hate everything about it, why is it not working?
One time it couldn't open. But then I just fixed it by reinstalling an earlier version of it. But I don't really care that much. It did, like, yeah, it bothered me, but like I was able to fix it. So, I don't know.
Okay. Then I feel like I just sound like an ass now. Because... I guess I'll start out with a light example and work my way up, because I have a few examples I remember. So specifically with Photoshop, for about 3 days, I believe, I'd plug in my drawing tablet, because I wanted to draw in Photoshop, because for some reason, I decided I'm going to draw in Photoshop instead of Krita or Clip Studio Paint, both programs I have installed on my computer. And I open Photoshop and I start drawing, and then I click the undo button, and it crashes the program.
See, that's just like a you issue. Like, I don't think this applies to everybody else.
Oh, listen. So I press the undo button, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. So I do it again. Turns out you need to do it like twice in quick succession. Okay, fine. I'll just press it once, and then wait a bit, and then press it again. Do you know how annoying that is? Like, that is actually impossible to do, realistically.
See, when I have to... Were you using it with the pen?
Yeah.
Okay, see, when it comes to technical stuff like that, I just use the mouse.
Yeah, I know.
I don't use the pen.
So I did that.
Oh.
So I unplugged my thing. I was like, fine. My drawing tablet's very old. Like, it's an old make. So maybe it's fine. So I unplug it. And I click the Control-Z button twice. What do you know? It crashes again.
See,
so
I think that's just your fault.
How is it my fault? What do you
know.
mean? I was spending like 20 minutes trying to troubleshoot this until eventually I just gave in and sent a bug report to Photoshop and explained it. I sent in 4 in a row because I was so mad.
Okay.
And then they updated it and it was fixed. So, yeah, I don't want to say that I influenced John Adobe at all, but I think they saw my thing and were like, this guy, we gotta fix it. We're fixing it. I'm gonna fix Photoshop. And then I did it. So I fixed Photoshop. You never had, like, that's the only issue you've ever had, like it closing when you open it. That's baffling to me.
Yeah.
Because it's got such a bad reputation.
I don't know. Maybe it just likes me more. It's sentient. I don't know. Listen, I don't know. Maybe I've had issues. I just don't remember them.
Maybe that's the difference between you and I.
Because, like, eventually I'm just like, okay, well, whatever, I guess. Plus, like, my dad works in, like, IT and stuff, so if I have an issue, I'm like, can you help me? And he's like, have you tried, like, opening it up and then closing it again, and I'm like, okay, you know what, fine.
You know how many times I've had to teach myself, I've had to literally teach myself, like, not basic, but, like, okay, I'll give you a different example. This is a very me problem, but I'll tell you anyway. So, FL Studio, it's like do you know what FL Studio is? It's like a music software thing. It's like GarageBand, but for Windows.
Okay.
And it's, well, like, you can use it on Mac. And it's like it's like a standard application. It's pretty robust, to what I'm aware. Mm-hmm. But it's like $200. Okay. So I didn't want to buy it. So I was looking for free alternatives. And the one that came up was this one called, like, Linux Music Maker Studio, which is the one that everyone's like, oh, it's like the free version. So I open it, and I'm playing around with it, and I go, oh, I want to make... this was around the time when I was trying to make, like, a composed music, which I'm not very good at.
Okay.
And so, do you know the game Earthbound?
Yeah.
So I really wanted to use... because I knew that Toby Fox used a lot of Earthbound sounds in his music. And so I was like, oh, I should try doing that. Like, I should try taking samples from video games. So I go and I download this file. And it contains all these, like, Earthbound sound effects. Like the entire library. Mm-hmm. And I plop them into a Linux Music Studio. And I go and I make I check my plugins and it goes, I can't read this. And I go, what do you want from me? So, Annie, I spent 8 hours for 2 days. 2 days I spent 8 hours each trying to figure out what was wrong with the files. And then finally, I gave in and just installed a different type of file, and it worked completely fine. And then I never used them ever again. I installed them. I made, like, I think 4 notes with them, and then I just deleted the program.
Yeah. I can't relate to this at all. I don't do this stuff. Sorry.
It's... I know. It's just... I feel like I need an outlet to explain my, like, utter frustration with most technology, because I don't think that... I think... you probably don't use it I don't think you use your computer in the same way I use my computer. And so I think we have very different priorities when it comes to what we want from it. But for me, I just get so... I just had to mention that. Mm-hmm. Because I'm so angry with Microsoft and his awful product.
Microsoft?
That's the creator of Microsoft. Okay. Everyone knows this. Bill Gates, who knows him? I saw this page online that was just dedicated to this one guy who made this webpage demanding that Bill Gates releases Windows 99, because there's like Windows 98 and he's like, where's Windows 99? And so, like, he's just like, Bill Gates has committed crimes against humanity by not releasing it's my favorite website.
I see.
Besides, like, the Slim Jim's website.
Okay, yeah. Anyways, guys, you know what else went viral? I don't know.
You know what else went viral?
The Dare.
No. The Dare. The guy in a suit?
I was listening to The Dare on the way here, and I was going to go to my on repeat playlist. Because I was like, okay, I've had enough of The Dare today. So I went to go my on repeat playlist.
And that's where this is what divides you. I am a true fan, because I didn't have that thought last night. I just had oh my god, I need to go to bed, and then I hit my head on the desk.
No, I was on the way here.
Oh.
Okay, and I was like, okay, I pressed it on repeat, and I'm like, it starts playing The Dare. I'm like, okay, this is probably because I was listening to the Dare, like, before, so it's probably like...
It's inescapable.
So then I, like, pressed the button, and it kept playing The Dare. And I was like, I opened up the playlist, and it's all The Dare. And I'm like, no.
No, stop! No!
I was like, oh my god. I was like, no way. And then I scrolled up to the playlist, and it was the album instead. I was like, oh my god.
It was the album!
And I was like, oh, that was really embarrassing. So I pressed my actual playlist. on repeat playlist. But yeah, that was
Oh,
like,
no.
it was really scary. I was like, there's no way, because it had songs I didn't like. I listened to the songs once, like some of them.
Oh, that's really funny.
Like they had like what is it? You Can Never Go Home, and I was like, I've only listened to that song one time. This past 48 hours. I don't know.
It's insane. I was saying this to my mom. For the longest time, I haven't been very... Are you playing one of his songs right now?
No, this is a screenshot.
Okay.
This was my...
I thought you were playing. I'm like, I can't play copyrighted music.
This was my reference point, because I was going to be like, oh my god. Because I took the screenshot, and I'm like, oh my god.
I destroyed
It's all the dare, and then I scrolled up, and it's like, oh, never mind.
I was saying to my mom, I don't think I've been aware of current music, and this isn't me being like, oh, music now sucks. I'm not very aware of current music trends. So when, so now that not only one, I was listening to Brat around the time it came out, and then two, I'm listening to What's Wrong with New York around the time it's come out. At one point, you asked me, hey, what's your favorite song from the album? And I go, I thought in my head, oh my god, no one's ever asked me that before. I'm paranoid. Okay, we're good. I was paranoid. I thought we weren't recording.
That'd be pretty crazy.
That would be so...
We had
I would be so mad if that entire conversation was just deleted. Yeah, it's been like, oh my god, no one's ever asked me that before. I can't believe this. And then I was very panicked because I was like, oh no, what if I say the wrong answer? And then what's funny, because initially I said, okay, so Annie asked me what my favorite song was, and initially I was like, the one with the guitar. And that's not a very clear answer. I later realized it's not Open Up. It's not the first one. It's Perfume.
Oh.
Because it has that guitar thing at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I'm getting confused again, and
it's been Open Up this entire time.
No, and it's You're Invited.
Oh.
I don't think it has guitar, but I get confused with songs a lot. Mm-hmm. I'm bad with names. Yeah, no, that's a good. I like the album. I remember you listened to it. It's like, yeah, it's kind of bad.
Okay, it's not that bad. It's fine.
I walked into class. The first thing you said to me was, "Hey, he made an album. He released an album." I was like, "Oh yeah, I saw." And then you were like, "Yeah, it's kind of not very good." And I was like, "Okay." And then I listened to it, and it was good.
Well,
except the last end. The back end's kind of.
I don't like the sadder songs.
Yeah,
I feel like it's like.
What are we doing? What is this? 5-minute reviews?
I don't know, because it's
we're
like.
We're into that later, probably.
It's like, okay, this is an analogy that's not going to make any sense, but there's this one like K-pop music reviewer, and she's like, oh, like no one's like, they were critiquing like this one group, and this one group's like known for like having very like loud, like very much like
in your face, aggressive,
no, like confident music. Or
oh
whatever,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like very much party music or whatever, and she's like, no one's listening to these people for a ballad.
That's a good point.
No one's listening. Like, okay, no offense.
That's a bit close-minded though, because like, what if I want to see an artist go different directions. It's just like,
yeah, but it's like,
if they're bad at it, then I don't really.
They're not. They weren't bad at the ballad. Just like the fact that like no one's.
It's out of place.
Yeah, it's just like no one's going to an artist who's known for like, you know, making like, yeah, like confident songs or whatever, and it's like listening to them sing about like. Was
it like one song out of this entire album that was like was it out of place in one album?
I don't remember. I have to check, but I think so.
Okay,
maybe. Because
I understand that if a whole album is supposed to be sadder, then I'm going to be like, well, why did you listen to the album then? But like I feel like I shouldn't say that, but like the album's meant to be more sad. But if it's like super like, yeah, we're the best, and then all of a sudden it's like, I hate everything. It's like, okay, well that's a bit. What are you trying to say here?
Yeah.
Unless it's like the point. God, I hate art. Like, what do you mean you're trying to say something creatively? Just say words. What is wrong with you? Say something while I go move this desk.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the album.
Oh, this desk sure is fun to move.
Okay.
Oh, damn it. No.
Okay, I like the album. I think the only song that I keep coming back to, I think the most is "I Destroyed Disco."
Really?
Yes, because I think it's really good. He name drops himself in it. It's pretty.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. What's a rocker to the dare? The
I would say also Perfume, but I feel like
Perfume's great.
Yeah, Perfume's really good, but it came out as a pre-release, so it's like
who cares?
But it's like it stands by itself.
Oh,
I
see.
It's kind of like how Girls is on both. It's released as a single. It's released on the Sex AP, and it's released on What's Wrong with New York.
I'm so glad he released it on this album because now I don't have to like the old cover. Oh, I hated that. I was like, there's like, it's funny. My liked playlist, right? It's like pretty stagnant. You know, like it switches from things. A couple Bare Naked Ladies songs because James finally got me, and then it's just tie. Like it's like 9. It's not 9. There's like it's just a black tie for like a while.
Yeah,
it's very funny. Yeah.
When the song, it's so...
And half of it is just me being like, I can't like these songs on the old one because people are like, what is wrong with you? Why did you like something with that album cover? For those unaware,
it's like he has a pretty controversial the Sex EP album cover. You can look it up yourself.
Yeah, I'm not going to put it on. I like the music, but every time I'm listening to it, I'm like, I hate that this guy just stole my idea. This is just like identity theft in music. It's like really, it's like this guy is just singing identity theft. It's very frustrating.
Have you heard him talk? He talks like he... It's so crazy to me. I'm like, who is this? Are you sure?
I'm sure he's being like, and then it's just like, he just goes like, yeah, so I was in my house the other day and I was eating a grill. She's like, what are you? No, you weren't. You were too busy doing this stuff you do in this. I don't remember any of the lyrics. I don't not remember the lyrics. They're all amalgamating.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
he looks like he has a British accent.
Yeah, I saw a comment on one of his music videos. It's like he lip syncs like he's British.
I said that to you.
What?
I said that to you.
No!
I texted that to you. I'm like, he lip syncs like he's British. Oh my god. I can't believe I'm
losing it!
I texted that to you.
I said to one of our friends who plays softball, you were there. I said to one of our friends, I have such a terrible memory. I said to one of my friends who plays softball, who told me that they won or got a certain like placing in a tournament. They told me this a week ago. And then I said to them, hey, I heard you won the tournament. A week later! And they're like, yeah, I told you that in this specific place at this time a week ago. What is wrong with me? What? And you know what the craziest part is? When I was sitting there, I was like, oh, that happened like yesterday. And so I said, hey, I heard you won the other day. And they're like, yeah, it was a week ago.
Oh my god, this is really funny. Anyways.
Anyway, back to the Dare and his wacky music. Yeah, no, the way he moves, it just angers me so much. It doesn't anger me.
That's how it feels to look at you.
Well, no, it angers me because it's like I'm upset that he's doing. People are gonna be like, "Why are you moving like the Dare is now?" I can't do anything now because they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're copying this guy." No, I was just like this before. I'm not. And, okay, now I really can't go back to my old hair. Because at first I was like, oh, I'm never going back to that. Now I really can't, because people are going to be like, why are you doing that? Like, that's his thing.
We act like the Dare is a household name.
No! The people who understand... He's not a household name yet. But but I can't... I don't want to do that. Like, if people... I couldn't bear... Bear?
Oh my god.
I couldn't bear... having, like... Oh my god, if someone was to be like, hey, why are you acting like that? You act way too similar to the Dare. I might just not talk to them anymore. Because, like, if that's their first impression of me, I can't handle that.
Yeah, because that's...
Actually, I'm really bad at first impressions. I'm really bad at first... Should we tell the story about, the party?
Oh, yeah. Maybe?
Yeah, it's fine. There's no... So... we're gonna have him on the podcast for the 3rd episode, right? That's like,
yeah.
Okay, so then I guess I'll ask him if I can say his name, and then, so I have a friend named James. He's really cool, and we were invited to this party, against their better judgment, and so we were like, it was supposed to be like a costume kind of.
Yeah, it was like a summer ween.
Yeah, it
Gravity
was.
Falls.
It's like Gravity Falls. I love Gravity Falls.
Me too. It's a good show.
I really want to get. I'm gonna get back into it for Halloween. Anyway, unrelated. So we were thinking of what we should dress up as at first, because at first we thought it was gonna be here's some backstory. At first we thought it was gonna be a pool party,
it was gonna be.
And so we were like, what if we just came in suits and then just like got into wore the suits the entire went in the pool with the suits. Like, it was the joke was gonna be like, last time we went in snorkel gear, this time we go for like the party aspect, right? So we were gonna do that, but then we realized we wouldn't be going in the pool. So like, okay, what do we do? So we decided to dress up as each other. Now the problem with this costume is that 4 people understood what we did, and everyone else was like, "What are you doing?" Which, you know what, is fine. I don't really care, because we explained it to them and everyone else, and everyone found it pretty funny. But specifically, for some godforsaken reason, we decided, what if we tried to talk the inverse of each other? Like, I'm James and you're Jonah, and we just talk as if we were the person we're dressing up as. This is a terrible idea when you are talking to people who you've never met before. Because I met someone there for the first time. She seemed very nice. And my the first conversation I had with her was in character of my best friend. And so I'm going like, yeah, so he's, I'm like telling, the way we did it was we'd tell people facts about the other person. So like, I'm James telling people fact about my friend Jonah. It was so goddamn confusing. And so anytime I'd say something, she'd just look at me like I had 4 heads and was like, what? And then I'd be like, and I completely forgot. Like, I went home and I was like, she doesn't know. She has no idea. And you know how I know she doesn't know? Because at one point we changed costumes. That was the joke. The joke was that we would come back and change costume and act like nothing happened. And she goes, okay, now I'm really confused. And we had to reintroduce... Oh my god. I had to be like, okay, yeah, no, I'm Jonah. This is James. It was so embarrassing.
It was really funny because
It was funny to you. I mean, I'm glad it was funny. But oh my god.
It was really funny because it was mainly me, or not me, but at one point it was like the 5 of us. It was me, you,
Kenzie,
James, and then her. And she kept like giving me and like Kenzie looks.
That was even worse because you guys kept being like, "Oh, they're worse in person."
And I was like, I almost told her, "Oh yeah, by the way, they're dating."
We're not.
I almost told her that.
Okay, that would have been really funny because then she'd be even more. You! How dare you! For those who are listening, Annie just ruined these paintings, which, by the way, I painted when I was like 3.
I had a feeling.
Look, that's me. That's my mom. I think.
Where's your dad?
This was for her office. So why would I paint my dad in my mom's office? My dad helped me paint that. Why would I paint the guy who's like trying to help me? I'm the artist. I'm the visionary. No. Also, yeah. I painted that when I was like 3.
Wow.
And you wonder why I mean, I should submit that to my portfolio. They'll be like, oh, this guy, he's been going at it since he's like 2. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, so that would have been really funny because I think the goal there, which I didn't intend for the goal to be this, but it ended up just being confuse everyone who doesn't know us to the absolute max. So if you were like, oh, they're dating, no one would be able to figure out what's going on now. Like every time they see us, they'd be like, so what's going on? And then me and James, being us, would just be like, oh, you know. And then that's the end of it. They don't. This is the problem, is oh my god, it was so funny and so awful because now I don't think I'm ever going to be able to talk to those people and they're going to... Well, sorry. I'm going to have to talk to them and they're going to be like so very confused. It's a mess. This is an even better story. There's a hole in my wall.
Oh my god.
I use it to...
Don't...
I'm going to tell this story. I felt it fit to... Okay, so this is not a very long story. It's not that bad.
Do that though.
Huh?
Why would you...
Well, we'll get into it. So I have my friends over every now and then to watch movies, as one does. And I had to set up the projector. So I have these holes in my wall. They're very small, so like if someone were to come in there, they wouldn't notice unless they're looking for it. and I put, the little nails in so that I can hang up the projector screen. But sometimes these nails, fall into the hole, as they are wont to do. And so, yesterday, or a few days ago, I tried to put one of the nails in, and it went into the hole, and I thought, oh man. So I tried to use it, like, a couple nails. Like, I tried to take 2 other nails and, like, pry it out, but that only pushed it further in. And so I was like, what do I do? Now, my first thought was actually to just ask my parents, like, hey, is there something I can use? And like, okay. So they gave me these magnets. Like, maybe that will help, but they weren't strong enough. And so I was like, okay, well, that doesn't work. And then I thought about it. Now, I'm going to give you a little lesson in air pressure here. There is some... Well, actually, I shouldn't give you I didn't take physics. But, so, there's a hole. There's a nail at the back. There's air between it and the nail. If I were able to close it off and then extract the air pressure, it might pull out the... I'm using the wrong lingo, by the way. If there's a physicist listening to this, they're going to kill me. But the, basic science, pull it out using the air. So, I think about this for a bit, and I go, plunger? No, that won't work. And then I think, well... we have a manual device to change air pressure. It's in our lungs. It's our lungs. They change the air pressure. And, I could manually just, suck the nail out of the hole. So I get up on a table and I do exactly that. It doesn't work, and I inhale a bunch of dust. And I cough, and it hurts. It doesn't hurt. It just sucked. And then I think... So...
Can you imagine if that worked? Wouldn't it have gone into your...
Yes, exactly! I thought about it afterwards. If that had worked, I would have... And then a nail would be in my throat. So I'm glad it didn't work, and I just inhaled some, wood, I guess. Because if it did work, I would be dead now. And what was even funnier is my friend came to my... came to my house and was like, what happened? And I was like, I tried to suck the nail out of the hole. And then he's like, wouldn't that have killed? I was like, yeah. He's like, what if I came over and I opened the door and that's how we found out you died? Is I walked down and saw you on the floor dead and we found a nail in your throat. No one would be able to figure out how you died because there's no evidence of foul play and a nail in your throat. Why? That would be...
Wouldn't you asphyxiate?
What?
Wouldn't you choke?
That's not asphyxiation. That's that's just I would die of either blood loss or of windpipe puncture. Okay. That would be... Asphyxiation would be my lungs don't carry oxygen correctly. Okay. But sorry for being annoying about it.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know. I wouldn't have done that. Personally, I would have just given up, or made a new hole.
You know what's crazy? My dad was like, what if you just put a nail, just dig the hole further, put another nail in. And that's what I did. I almost died. And I could have just put another nail in and been like, and that's the end of that. And it was funny too, because I was like, when that happened, I was like, damn it! I was punching the wall. And I was so mad. And then because for some reason in my mind, I had hyped this nail up to be the most valuable possession of mine. And I was like, no, I can't lose this, no!
Okay, chill out.
And then it was and then my dad, I was because I was oh no, these nails are really good, they're specifically made for this purpose. And then my dad just gives me a nail of the exact same make and size, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. We have a whole stash of them, and I almost died and potentially inhaled a bunch of wood for no reason. That's ridiculous. Anyway, that was a really bad idea. Never do that.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm never going to do that. Are you kidding me?
Well, now you know for sure. And you know what? It's good. Because now I'll never do it. And I'll never do anything like it. And I'm going to survive longer because of it. Don't you love natural selection? Okay. So, Annie.
Yes?
This is a different topic entirely.
Okay.
I just thought about this. I had an idea for a segment. But the problem is we can't do the segment today. It would have to be in the next episode. And the reason is I had an idea for what we call... talking or something along the lines of a watch along of some sorts.
Okay.
So we choose something. It could be a movie. It could be a book.
So like a
it
book
could be
club?
a book club for
A
something.
movie club?
And we no way. We pick something. It could be like anything we want. And both of us have to like fully either read it or watch it or listen to it or I don't know, eat it and like just and then we'll explain ahead of time like, okay, this is what we're gonna do next, and it could and then we'll discuss it on the next episode. So I think we should start recording these bi-weekly because I cannot do this. There was a cut, and it's because my alarm went off, and then it stopped our $4 billion microphone.
Yeah, Jonah's an Instagram influencer. He has specific times.
I have specific times I have to post my awful stories to 4 people. I have like 18 people who can see it, and there's like 4 people who care. And that's how I like it. Sorry. Back to we need to come up with a name for it.
We'll think of that later.
Because the only thing I have in my notes is TTWD Watch Along. And that's a terrible name, but it was just we're watching till we're dead now. Anyway,
we'll figure it out later, guys.
But the thing I want to figure out today is 1, do you want to do this?
I mean, sure.
Okay, 2, what do we start with?
I don't know.
Because I immediately had this idea, and it flashed in my head, Sherlock, and I was like, no, I'm not watching that.
I can talk about it for hours, but I'm not rewatching that shit.
No, I'm not. You watched it already?
I've seen it.
Oh my god, you've already seen it.
I watched it when I was a child, when it was airing on TV.
Wow, okay.
I watched it when it was airing on TV. Then I rewatched it during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. Then I rewatched it. I rewatched it. Both of the first times when I watched it, I was like, okay, this is like fire. This is peak. And then I rewatched it again, and I'm like, this is stupid. Really bad.
I've seen the Harris Bueller guy. I'm just making a joke. Harry Bomber guy. Bomb guy.
Yeah, that guy. I saw his video too. I'm like, he has some good points. Yeah.
I watched it. I was like, I'm not watching the show because that's crazy.
You need. It's literally so funny that it has a 4.5 like rating. Like it's fire. But then if you like actually I'm pretty sure all those reviews are old too, like from 2012.
Yeah.
But if you like,
because it felt like they were setting something up
if you rewatch it now. And, like, I think if we have a resurgence of Sherlock and everyone rewatched it now, it's literally going to be like, this show...
God help us if that happens.
The first episode was actually pretty good.
Tumblr has made a stunning recovery.
I've seen the very first pilot episode that they did.
Apparently it's the best episode.
Yeah, that one's really good. Because it's so, like chill.
Well, and it sets up everything, but it never resolves in the show. It
sets everything up, like, better than it does. I feel like they should have just stuck it to, these guys, there's a crime in the loose.
Yeah, and isn't it like doesn't it always get resolved in a very unfulfilling way? Like it's always just like, oh no, he does it off screen, it's whatever. Like
I don't like that. Okay.
Yes, it sucks.
When it comes to like shows where it's like
we've written half of a screenplay.
No. I feel like when it comes to like shows like what's a detective show? Like Sherlock or like I guess Castle too. Usually if they like show up, they set it up, they show up the crime, they like they do the thing.
Yeah.
They do that whole thing, and then they're like, okay, this is the person, this is the guy, and then they introduce a bunch of stuff that they mention, that happened off screen. They're like, oh, we cross-referenced your credit card, or we did this, we did that. I think it's fine. Yeah. Because it's like
that's not something you want to watch.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, okay, like this is like clearly stuff that they did, to double check because they already had the bad guy. But in Sherlock, it's literally like so unsatisfying because there's nothing that alludes to anything.
Hey, sorry to the friend who we know who's watched this show and loves it. I'm really sorry you have to listen to this, but we're gonna talk. We're gonna do this. There's nothing you can stop it. There's nothing you can do to stop it.
It's not okay. I can see the vision. I think that having like a Sherlock set in modern times is actually really.
That's
cool.
A really good idea. Isn't it just House MD?
No, House MD is about
but it's
malpractice.
Well, yes, but it's based on. It's based.
Yes, yeah,
the characters
but it's
are based
House
on.
MD is like I don't know. This makes so funny about it. Like, why is he so serious?
I've not watched it, but I've seen his face, and I love it when they do Party Rockers in the what?
What is it? I think that like the cast was pretty good. I think having Benedict Cumberbatch is literally Sherlock.
Leave us alone, Benedict.
I think Benedict Cumberbatch was really good. I think, who's the guy who plays John Watson?
Oh, one guy, yeah.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
He's a good John Watson. I think everyone that they cast was really good. Okay, I think everyone that they cast was like really good to play all the characters. But I don't know. I feel like they're all good. Like they're like the casting agent did really good with that. I just have like a problem with everything else.
Well, yeah, it's an example.
The editing's really good.
I've seen the editing. Oh my god, that's an prime example of like too much money going into a project.
I think the editing's really good. I think the episode where they kind of like do a thing.
Oh, the wedding photo.
No. Where they do the books. Like where they base it off of the books and it's like a Christmas episode. I think that was really good. I like the way that it looks. I like the callbacks. I like it. Actually, I really like the editing.
I mean, I think that's why it gets so much praise because it kind of distracts you from the fact that the writing's bad.
I don't like what is it? I don't like Sherlock when he's like thinking and like you see the things.
Oh yes, when he like.
It's like very much. It's like Odd Squad. It's like Odd Squad.
Yeah, Odd Squad did it better though.
Yeah,
because at least Odd Squad's like aware that it's funny.
Odd Squad had like the map room. What does Sherlock have?
Yes.
Though? Like
anyway, this. Yeah, I mean, keep talking about Sherlock. We do need to decide a show.
This whole show, like oh my god, I don't think there's any character,
this is the Sherlock episode.
Any female character in the show is treated fairly. Every character, like,
yeah.
There's, what is it?
Hero Bomber guy was talking about
what is it? There's a character called Molly that they literally just introduced because of the fact she's just like a forensic. She works in forensics, which is like, okay, that's like, that's good. And she's like friends with Sherlock. But Sherlock treats her so badly. Like, it's not even funny. And I understand that they've known each other for a long time. And, like, they're, like, basically, they're really close. But also, he has
the inverse of you and me, where you guys just make fun of me all the time. It's like the inverse of that. Continue.
But it's like, but he's so unnecessarily mean to her. And he obviously knows that she likes him. And he uses it to his advantage.
Oh.
And it's really upsetting. And I think the same thing for, like, Irene. Okay, Irene's actually an interesting character.
Well...
But I don't like this rendition of her. Like,
because they messed her up. Because they made it... She's the only person who's ever outsmarted him. I
think that having her... The way they introduce her, where she's, like, all naked or whatever, I think that was pretty cool.
It's funny because Sherlock doesn't know what to do.
I think that was pretty funny. I think but I think they could have, like, just made an entirely different character. They could have they made Molly. She's not in the books.
Well, if you're gonna adapt Irene Adler, she's the only person who's ever outsmarted Sherlock.
But
make her outsmart Sherlock.
Yeah, but the way that they make her, because she's like, oh my god, she's like,
make her smart.
She is smart.
Well, make her do things that make her smart.
Do you know how they introduce her?
Yeah. Well, I kind of know.
She's a dominatrix.
Yeah, I know.
I think that's like, okay, like, yes, sex work's like great and all, but like, I don't like. There's just something about the way she's written. Like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't... Compared to the books where she was literally just, like... She was just like, oh. Like, what happened? Like, she just, like, left or something. Like, she just went away somewhere. I don't remember. But she just, like, literally just outsmarted him. And Sherlock was like, okay, fine. She wins. I don't know. But there's only so many pages in this book, man. And then, like, in the show, it's just kind of like... She's, like... I don't know.
They say she's really good, but she...
They don't really show her being really good.
Show don't tell, man.
Yeah, they just kind of she's in Sherlock's mind palace or whatever, and it's like, girl, you met him 5 minutes ago.
Okay, in fairness, the only people I think about in most of the time are people I just met. Yeah. But yes, I agree. I agree with everything you said, and I'm never watching the show.
No, you have to watch it. I think it's like...
I know it's an important thing in every young girl's life, but I just... Maybe I need to skip that part of every girl's...
No, you can't, man. You can't.
It's... you can't,
I think, like, it's like... I don't know. It's like fine. You just gotta watch, man.
It's fine? Okay, you just said it's awful.
Okay, but it's like... It's not as bad as it could have been. I think that, like, I think literally...
Yeah, it's not like a PowerPoint.
Yeah,
Imagine they made a PowerPoint.
There's
like, alright, this is the show.
There's some good lines in the show, honestly. There's, like, the writing's pretty fun sometimes.
Well, the writing or the storytelling? Like, the actual writing of their lines. Because you can have good lines written, right? Like, you can write something that sounds really cool, but if it doesn't facilitate any purpose, what's the point?
Yeah, well...
You know what I sound like right now? I sound like those Instagram reels where they interview those like really pretentious directors. They're like, or not pretentious, but that's what I sound like. I sound like I'm regurgitating one of those quotes. What time do you have to go?
I don't have to be back at my house at 1:00.
Okay. Well, then just let me know when you need to go.
So I'll be like around 12:30.
Okay. We still got time then. Yeah, sure. Anyway, so Sherlock. Not watching
You
that.
have to.
Okay, well, we're not watching that for the book club.
I'm not rewatching that. Are you kidding me right now? I think I'm like...
Would it be possible for you to read the second book of Scott Pilgrim?
The second book?
Because I'm trying to reread the books for the signing.
Maybe.
I'm trying to read one book a week.
Oh.
Which is very easy. I read the entire first one in one day.
I think I could read the second book, maybe. But I'll have to see, because I don't have the actual copy.
Okay, let's get a few going. We got the second book of Scott Pilgrim, which is a weird one to start with. If you're... I guess read the first one and then read the second one if you want to follow along at home. Oh god, I have on my notes, I think, Scott Pilgrim and the Horrors. That's just listed on there. I was going to describe my confusing relationship with Scott Pilgrim. Not the character! The books! The books, and how I once explained to someone, oh, no, it makes sense if you read the books. It was my worst it was the worst mistake of my life. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, never explain to someone, the books are so weird. Just, okay, anyway. And I like them for some reason. I hate explaining this franchise to anybody, because I can't, okay. Yeah, anyway, Scott Pilgrim, book 2. Any other shows? Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls.
I think I've seen Gravity Falls so much, though. Like, I've rewatched it.
Okay.
A lot.
Do we want to do, like, first time watching, or do we want to do, like, first, or just, like, whatever? Do we want to limit ourselves? Huh? Like, do we want to limit ourselves to, it has to, both of us have never watched it before?
I don't know. I feel like, I don't like rewatching things.
Really?
I feel like I could never...
I used to not like it, but then I started... I reread the Scott Pilgrim books.
Because it's like, okay, like, I can rewatch some shows. Like, I rewatched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, whatever.
And Fleabag.
Yeah, but then, like, eventually, like, okay, when I rewatched Fleabag a second time, like, or, like, a third time, I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah,
This is, like, so annoying. Like, it's good, but it's, like, annoying.
It's annoying to keep watching
because I'm like, I know what happens, but I do notice more things. It's like that one meme about Encanto. It's like, oh my god, I never noticed she was holding a thing of corn in this scene.
What?
Have you ever seen that meme?
No, I've not.
That's how I feel watching Fleabag. I'm like, oh my god, I never knew that she raised her eyebrow.
What? You never noticed that she raised her eyebrow?
No, it's...
Okay, I thought you were joking. I thought you weren't joking for a second.
Joke.
That would be crazy. That's like her whole thing. It's like that, and I don't want to spoil the show. Killing her best friend, sorry. I'll cut that out probably. Y'all are gonna...
That's how I feel.
Why is his face like this? Is that a screenshot?
Yeah.
That's a really good
This is how I feel watching Fleabag. Like, this is how I feel...
You feel like that guy.
I feel like this tweet. I feel like...
You guys are running out of things to say.
Yeah.
I never realized she was holding a thing of corn in this scene. What is that trying to say about her character? She likes corn? I don't know.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. I feel like...
What about your Letterboxd watch list? What do you got on there?
I have like 4 billion movies in there.
Okay, I'll pick one. Because I don't know about watching a show like in a couple weeks. I don't have that kind of time. What do you think I am? A human being? No. I'm too busy. I'm too busy watching Conan O'Brien clips.
Well, wow. There has to be a way to compare watch lists, because maybe we have something that intersects.
Actually, this is actually crazy. This is a side note while Annie finds something. I have consumed so many Breaking Bad. I go on YouTube and then just watch Breaking Bad clips. And I'm like, why am I not just watching Breaking Bad? I could just watch the show again. And I don't. I just watch clips of it. I do that with Better Call Saul. I do it with a lot of things. Like, I would, like a rough estimate, 50% of my recommended, I don't even want to watch anymore. And the other 50% is either Conan O'Brien clips or Breaking Bad clips. And I'm like, what? I could just watch the show. But no, I'm watching Walter White be like, I need to cook meth and kill people because I suck. And then it's like, what, you know. And it kind of, I mean, it retroactively makes me think the show's way better because I'm watching all the good parts of it. And I'm like, oh, I love this show. This show rules.
You know what's really funny in your watch list? You have Pearl, but you don't have the first movie.
There's a first movie?
Yeah, there's X, and then it's Pearl, and then it's Maxine. Yeah,
I hate movies. Okay, no, that's not true.
It's really funny.
I don't know, man. It's the only one I've seen. Everyone talks about that one. They don't talk about the other two.
Yeah, because...
it's like The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. It's the third movie.
Well, I mean, like, people talk about X, but, like, Pearl is a character in X.
Okay, I understand. I don't know, man. I just put things on there because maybe one day. Okay, actually, 5-minute reviews is coming up. I have some things to say about a movie that was on my watch list, but we need to finish this first. We got to figure out what we're watching.
We can do Shiva Baby because I want to watch that, and you have that saved.
Okay, that's what we choose then. Shiva Baby. So if you want to, I probably said that name wrong, but if you want to follow along, hey, go in the comments down below and let us know.
I don't even know what you think of Shiva Baby.
What?
Let us know what you think of Rachel Sonata.
Let us know what you think. Actually, don't let us know in the comments until we've watched it, because then you're gonna spoil it for us. But
guys, let us know what you think about Rachel Sonata.
Yeah, we'll watch it, and then you can follow along, and then we'll talk about it next episode, which will eventually...
This is the Instagram story I was telling you about.
There's an Instagram story on Letterboxd. That's right. Why is it a 3.4? That's like high for Letterboxd.
Because it's like...
Actually, that's not... Well,
because
like
I don't know. But...
It's like a normal, okay movie. Pretty good. Okay.
It's funny because it has Rachel Sonata in it.
All right, so now that we've solidified, okay, we're gonna watch this movie. We're gonna watch. So go ahead and watch that, and then
let us know what you think.
Let us know what you think when we upload the episode. If we see a comment that's like, "Oh, I watched the episode," I will ban you. I don't even know. I will contact. What's the guy's name? Who's the CEO of Google?
I don't know.
I will contact John Google and be like, ban this user from Google. They've ruined the. I will strike you down. Okay. So speaking of media, I'm gonna take a shift to Talking Till We're Dead classic segment. 5-minute reviews. I got 5 minutes. Annie, put me on the clock. Get it. Do you have a timer on your phone?
Yes, hold on.
Okay, get a timer on it. Get a timer.
Oh my god.
I have things to
say. Go.
Okay. I watched a movie. It's an animated movie. It's called Masters of Time. Time Masters. It's a French animated film. It was directed in the 80s, or released in the 80s, I think. The idea is it's this space movie, but it's animated, and it's in this weird, trippy style that I was like super into at the beginning. And you know, it's about this team. It's kind of about a lot of things. Things kind of just happen. I'll get to that in a second. But the main plot is there's this boy who was he gets lost in this forest, but he doesn't really know what's going on. And he's trying to communicate with these people above the planet using a microphone. And the people above the planet are going through all these things to try and get to this boy, but they're having all these difficulties. Things come up as they go. Here's the thing. I didn't finish this movie. And that sounds bad, and maybe I shouldn't be reviewing this because I didn't finish this movie, but I'm reviewing this because I couldn't finish it. And it's to say that it is too experimental in its visuals. And I say this because it made me realize, now, I gotta say, the visuals are incredible. They look really good for the time. It's incredible they pulled this off, but they're static. The way the characters move is weird, and the way their faces move is also weird. And I know that it's an artistic choice. I'm aware, but it's a choice that I don't like. It's bred from limitations. They didn't have enough money, obviously, because if you were to animate these very intricate character models, not even models, this was hand-drawn, right? They had to draw this out each frame. If they, that's incredibly hard. So I understand why it's there, but I couldn't connect with the characters. And I realized the reason is they all look like a art textbook's anatomy drawing. They all look like that, right? And they all have their distinct cool character features, but the ones that I connected with the most were distinct, weird, kind of more cartoony. They didn't look realistic. They looked more fun. They looked more exaggerated. I related to them more because I don't relate to these mannequins, basically, these walking mannequins. And here's the thing. Some people love this. People love it, some people hate it. Because, and I don't hate it, but I think it's just, so another issue I have with it is I really wanted to like this. I held out for a while. I was trying to engage with it. Now, one, I was kind of sleepy, but two, I really wanted to engage with this and enjoy it because it looked so cool, but I just couldn't because their story, the way they display information, things just happen, and I couldn't get invested because, this prince, now he's falling in, spoilers, I guess, he's falling into this thing, and he's trying to get his money back, but they're trying to chase him, and then he gets caught by these individual, these weird, I think they're a metaphor for something, and they're all trying to get rid of the individuality, and all look the same, and then it's so obvious because they're all verbatim saying, we are going to get rid of your individuality, you'll become one with the commune, and we'll all become one happy entity. And it's like, okay, well, you've gotten rid of any nuance. Like, they're doing this because at least I think that they did this because they put more effort into the visuals and the aesthetics and the looks, but the storytelling ends up being so in your face, like, this is exactly what we're trying to say. It's like, well, I can't connect with these characters because I can't draw my own conclusions. Anyway, all this to say, I know that there are some hardcore fans of it. I know that there are some fans who just love this. Like, it's so different and weird, and I wanted to like it a lot, but I couldn't. How much time do I have left?
A minute.
Okay, I got a minute. Wrapping up. I'm not going to give it a number grade. I'm not even going to put it on my letterbox. I'm not going to do anything because I don't think that it's fair that I give this movie a review in the traditional sense of like giving it a number grade or whatever because I didn't finish it. But I will say that it showed me why some animation works and why some doesn't. It's about connecting with the characters. And for me, I can't connect with the character if they don't move in a realistic way. Mm-hmm. And in this instance, I couldn't connect with how they ran, with how they talked. It looked amazing. It was so cool. Like, each thing was a work of art, right? The scene, if each frame was a drawing, I would love it, right? But it had a story connected to it, and it was trying to tell some sort of story that I couldn't connect with because I couldn't personally relate to these characters who, in my mind, I couldn't suspend my disbelief and make them look like not mannequins. You don't know how long I've been waiting to talk about this. I saved the Letterboxd review. I saved a story post about it. I really wanted to like this, and I couldn't. And that's my review.
Wow. Now you had 6 seconds.
Yeah, all right.
That's pretty crazy. That's a very interesting review, I think.
I think you should watch it, or try to watch it. It's on an archive. See if you can.
Okay.
I
What's
also...
it called again?
It's called Masters of Time, like
okay.
a Time Master or something. It's a Le Maître de Temps. But the yeah, you should. I think you should check it out. See what you think.
Okay.
But yeah.
My turn.
Set the here. Give me the.
Okay. Okay.
3, 2.
Oh my god.
1. Go.
Okay, my 5-minute review is on the CW's hit TV show Gossip Girl.
Yes!
Yay!
Chuck Bass! Let's go!
Okay, you need to chill out.
Sorry, I'm really excited
So Gossip Girl,
about
if
Chuck
you don't
Bass.
know, it's based on the book series by Cecilia Van something. And it's, there's like 7 books, I think. And it's like a... whatever, and those books were adapted into a TV show, which we know as Gossip Girl. And honestly, I spent my entire summer watching it because I didn't have anything else to do, and I was like, okay, like they just added this to Netflix Canada, so I'm like, I want to see what people have to say about it. Yeah. Because I've always heard about Gossip Girl, but I've never actually watched it. Guys, what the hell? What are we doing here? Like, genuinely, oh my god,
keep talking.
I think that okay. There is so much to be said about Gossip Girl, but also there's literally nothing to say. Like, genuinely, every single character in that show, it's like, every character in that show is really, it's like, okay,
bad.
They're really bad. But also, you can't say that because they're, in Gossip Girl, they live on the Upper East Side. I didn't even explain the plot. Oh my god.
Is this like Gatsby?
Yes, it is like Gatsby. Basically, there's all these characters. They're like
parties. Sorry, continue.
They're like the it girls and the it boys of New York, and
it's like that one. I'm sorry, I think you're 5-minute review.
And all these it's about those, and then there's this blog site that reports on what they do, and there's so much scandal and all these things, right? And they all do really bad things throughout the show. Like, genuinely, there were multiple times where I was like, okay, so why isn't this being reported to the police right now? Like, you guys should all be in jail. I've been thinking about it, and it's probably because in their world, it's normal. Everything that they do is normal. It's all it's what they have to do. There's an episode that what is it? There's an episode where one of the characters, Blair, she blackmails a teacher. Essentially, she hazes and blackmails a teacher who, by the way, literally deserved it. Blair got it. She was like, okay, spoilers, you like this student, and the teacher's like, no, I don't. That's really crazy.
Okay.
And she's like, and then Blair got kind of in trouble for it, right? But she was right. in the end. And I was watching it, and then because of that, she wasn't able. Okay, spoiler. She wasn't able to go to like to her like dream university.
No.
She wasn't able to go to her. She
No.
wasn't able to go to Yale, and she was like basically blacklisted from every university because of the fact she hazed the teacher.
Okay.
But it's like also the teacher deserved it.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay, so what now? Like obviously she shouldn't have done that, but like it was justified technically. Because she was right. Because she submitted a report to Gossip Girl and was like, okay, this teacher
that's
likes
where you're
this...
supposed to...
She was like, this teacher likes the student.
Uh-huh.
Right? And she was right. She, like, was right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this whole thing. And it's like, okay, so, like, obviously, like, these characters, like, the morality guys, oh my god, like, it's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. There's, like, and then, like, okay, one of my unironic fave characters is Chuck Bass, and I know he's, like, the worst...
Chuck Bass! Yes!
He's unironically the worst
Born
character.
in a fish. I mean...
He's unironically the worst character, but, like, there's something so compelling about him. Like, he does do, like, in the very first episode, they automatically set him up as, like, one of the worst characters in the show. But they, like, the way they kind of just, like, throughout the whole show, they kind of just show how complex he is and how a lot of these characters are extremely complex. And they just genuinely, like, they're all, like, by the end of the show, they all sort of grow. And, like, in the end, I don't really like a lot of the characters because I'm like, okay, well, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And it's like, you know, past, like, what was it? I watched a video essay on Gossip Girl by Billiam, and he was like,
You got a minute left.
Huh?
You got a minute left.
Okay, well, I don't know. He was like,
Better give that
when
number.
he was talking about Serena, he was like, oh, you know, like, her past mistakes don't define her until she does those mistakes again, so I guess they do define her. And that's how I feel like, that's how it feels watching all the characters in Gossip Girl, because a lot of these characters make the same mistakes, and they go through the same plot points. But, like, those plot points already happened, so, like, those mistakes obviously don't define them. So those, but since that's a repeat, it's like, okay, so these things do define you.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, I don't know. And it's like, it's such a show of its time, in all honesty, and it's so 2012, and I know, like, everyone says about everything, but this is very much, like, 2012 if you weren't on Tumblr. I mean, actually, if you weren't... this is so 2012 if you weren't on Tumblr, but also if you were on Instagram and you were following Kylie Jenner. That's the vibe. Yeah, I give the show a 7.8 out of 10. And it was good. I didn't go into any of the characters or any of the specific plot lines, but it is very much a show that you hate.
There it is. You're done. That was you fit it all in 5 minutes. Incredible.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. I like the timed aspect now because we didn't time it last time. We were just saying whatever, and it just so happened to be 5 minutes. Now we actually have to talk fast.
Yeah.
That was good. That was interesting.
Yeah.
I'm glad we chose two properties that we both have mixed opinions on.
Yeah.
Because I'm never watching that shit. No, I probably will.
I want to read the books for it because I've read the books.
This is breaking. We're breaking the rules of 5 minute reviews. No more talking about it. At least in this episode.
Okay.
Yeah. So 5 minute reviews. That's we're for sure doing that more. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do I have anything else written down? Just wanted to see if I can get something to. The Grilled Cheese Festival. Why do I have that written down? I don't remember why I wrote that down.
No way, the freaking grilled cheese.
Oh, here's a funny... Okay, this is a good story. Okay. I'll end off this episode with a good story.
Okay.
I am one to get headaches every now and then.
Yes.
It happens to all of us.
Oh my god.
And specifically, I was hanging out with one of my work friends at my work, and I wasn't working, they were working. It was very funny. It's not that I wasn't doing my work, it's that I didn't have work that day. I was just hanging out at my work. And, I was like, oh man, I got a headache. And they go, oh, well, there's a Shoppers down the street, so you can go get that. So, now this is the thing. We're not in a weird part of town, but we're in, like, the town part of town. This is where most people hang out, right? Like, it's a pretty general area. And so, it's like 8 o'clock. It's weird at 8 o'clock there.
8
Not 8
p.m.?
o'clock, sorry. Like, more like 6 p.m.
Okay.
6 or 7 p.m. And, things are getting weird around there, right? You're getting people who are like, you get like, moms who are super tired, have like 3 kids in there. Don't worry, you'll be fine. And so I go to the Shoppers, right? After, by the way, going down the wrong street and accidentally ending up in a discount pharmaceuticals thing, and I was like, oh, I don't want to buy like syringes. I want to buy like Advil. So I walk into the drugstore, and I find the Advil liquid gel. By the way, was $37 for like a thing of Advil liquid gel, which is criminal. I should have just bought the no-name brand, but I didn't. I didn't really want to buy this for the person. I don't really know if they're allergic to the no-name brand. And so I grab it. I go up to the... Now, here's the thing. This is very important.
Okay.
I had $50 in cash.
Okay.
That was given to me by this friend because they wanted me to buy it for them anyway. So I was like going to get this Advil for the friend. Now, me, in my infinite wisdom, you know me, I'm very smart, I'm intelligent, I'm a genius in everything I do. You know, I go to the self-checkout to pay with cash. And so I walk up to the self-checkout and I, scan the thing.
They don't accept.
I find this out the hard way. As I walk up to the self-checkout, scan my item, and it says, all right, that's $37. And I go, there is no place to insert a bill here. I don't know what to do. And so I sit there staring at the thing for about I'm just staring at it and I go, I guess I have to cancel. So I click cancel. Not before. Before this happens, a thing pops up. As I'm clicking cancel, something pops up this is a over $20 purchase. Would you like us to issue some Marvel cards? And the only option was to accept it. And so I pressed it, and they're like, we will be issuing a staff member has been alerted, and we'll issue you your Marvel cards as soon as possible. I was like, no, I don't want someone to come over. And so then I sit there, I click cancel, and then it's like, a staff member has been alerted that you want to cancel your order. So I'm like, okay. So someone's just been alerted. This guy wants his Marvel cards, and then immediately after, this guy has tried to cancel his order. So I sit there staring at the thing, waiting for someone to come over for 10 minutes, and then someone in line goes, "You can use the other thing. You can use the other one." I go, "No, I can't. I need to cancel this." And everyone now is looking at me like, no, you can just go to the other one. I'm like, no, I have cash. I can't. I made a mistake. And they're like, oh. And then the guy at the cashier just goes, hey, how can I help you? And I go, oh, I need to cancel this. And he goes, oh, yeah, no problem. And he goes through this line of 10 people in a minute. This guy's amazing at his job. He just bam, 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 go ahead, go. And then he zips over to me, wipes his card over the thing. Immediately he's like, all right, you can go ahead. So I go, okay, thanks. And then just sadly walk into I just very embarrassed walk into the line for the human checkout. And I see the human checkout behind the person who just told me, hey, you can use the other thing. And I had to very sadly explain I accidentally tried to use cash. And then I'm sitting in this line, and eventually I make it to the guy, and he's like, oh, hey again. And then I give him my $50. At this point, I'm like, oh, wait, he might give me my Marvel cards. Without having to, because I kind of wanted the Marvel cards, but I didn't want to, go out of my way to ask, I'm buying, Advil liquid on my, hey, can I have some Marvel cards? I'm nowhere close to the demographic for this, right? And so I give him my $50. I get back, $3 because it was, 40-something dollars after tax. And then and he's like, all right, have a good day. And I was like, oh, no. He didn't give me my Marvel. I'm not going to get the Marvel cards. And I was thinking, do I ask this guy who just watched me fumble the cat? He just watched me, so badly, press all, I must have looked like an idiot. I was like, what do I do? I was out loud being like, why did I ever do this? This is stupid. Because this is what I do when I get mad at technology. I yell at a computer. And he just saw me do that. And then I go up to him and go, hey, can I have some Marvel cards? There's no...
Oh my god.
So for a bit I was considering, do I just ask him if I can have my Marvel? I'm entitled to it. I spent $20, but there's no way. And then I'm so glad I didn't, because I couldn't imagine him being like, why? Imagine he looks at me, he's like, why do you want that? And I'd be like, I don't know. It's been a long day. I messed up. I thought I was getting Marvel cards. And so, that's I am never using self-checkout again. I'm always using human checkout, because that was devastating.
Yeah,
that knocked me down several pegs. I was on top of the world before that. I was like, no one can stop me. And then I ran into a robot that doesn't accept cash. I was like, no! I've been bested.
That's crazy.
I guess this cycles back to, it's circular. We're going back to technology not working out. Oh my god. Anyway, I don't think you have anything. Do you have anything to add?
No, I don't have anything to say about that. That's really bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was a success. This was good. Thanks for recording, Annie, and thank you for listening. This has been the second episode of Talking Till We're Dead, the podcast where we've just been dying to talk to you. We will see you in a few weeks, where we'll talk about what's it called again?
Shiva Baby.
Shiva Baby. And then we'll talk about our thoughts, and we will also talk about other things, because we cannot stop talking. Until then, have a pretty good day, and you're going to hear my voice transitioning out around now. It's fading out. And as I'm saying it, you are being manipulated into buying my essential oils for $4.99.